So the first thing we ask for typically are volunteers. And Shiley said if we mail her the AI and the she will do the minutes, but she can't make it tonight, but she'll do it from now on. She will be attending from now on, but she obviously was at some event. So, but we can send the stuff to her and she'll do the minutes.
She'll do the draft minutes, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, draft minutes, of course, Cheryl always sees them. Yeah, but she can't be the timer because she's not here. I was hoping she'd be the timer too.
Well,
So
I'm willing to try and be the timer.
Oh, great. Okay. Timer. And just say time when it's that our times because we don't always, but often go over. So, just so people know that they've met time.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's, it's good to know that they are supposed to get quiet real.
Okay.
Okay. So then I was hoping that Joan or Ellen Thomas would be our vibes watcher and then I never have to ask again. I'll just because we really don't need vibes.
Right. We can do it, one or the other of us, but this time, since Ellen has the other things going on, I'll do it. This is Joan.
Yes, thank you, Joan. Okay, so we got that, and then revise the agenda. Are there any revisions to the agenda?
Well, Peggy wants to go early.
I don't know why I made such an effort to put this so I could easily put it up here for you all, and now I'm having such trouble.
Okay, so, well, so what does that mean, Cheryl?
Peggy has a video, a short-ish video about, I forget about what now, but she wants us to have the link so we'll watch it later.
Can I just make my little pitch and I'll work on it?
Great.
I saw a very good source for help responding to the sending of the National Guard to California, and it's a wonderful thing to share with any friends and family who have friends and family who are in the National Guard, particularly in the California National Guard. And there are a lot of resources on this link. So I'm going to try to put it in the chat. And I don't know why I'm having such a hard time, but that's all I wanted to say.
Well, I have a question.
Maybe send it to Diane and she'll put it in.
Right. Well, we all got it. Peggy sent it to us 10 minutes ago. Let me go pick it up. Okay.
Oh, great. That's great. And Peggy, so is it basically saying the National Guard should refuse to go to LA?
Yeah. And it's a very good, I think they're young people because it was on TikTok. And they have a whole listing of different resources from everything from including the part of the Constitution that says you don't have, and to recent news coverage. It's got a whole lot of good stuff in it, and I just want to get it to everybody.
There it is now. It's in the chat now.
Oh, thank you.
Do Not Turn on Us is the end name, but this is a link here. It's not actually, well, it's not a video, pardon me. It's a series, as Peggy says, a series of links. Don't go there now, please. Play attention.
Don't go now. It's too much.
But I don't see it on the chat at all.
I don't see it either.
Okay, then. Oh, sorry. I forgot to hit the
send.
The send. Pardon me.
Okay, so hopefully soon people get it.
There it is.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I sent an article, two things. Well, one was an article and the other was just mentioning that Christy Walton paid for this full page ad in the Washington Post about June 14th. And I thought it was kind of ironic what she said because she inherited all, they make $25,000.
Walton money?
Huh?
That's the Walton family who own what?
Walmart.
Walmart. Fine, thank you.
And they make they make $25,000 a day. They bring or a minute or something. I mean, astronomical amount.
Probably.
Huh?
Probably a second.
No, it's not a second. I think it's a minute at least. But anyway, I mean, it's kind of, I thought it was ironic that she.
Yeah, because all their money is in China, and she wants China to do what they want, not what Trump wants, pretty much.
Oh, is that what? Well, anyway, maybe.
That's what's behind it.
It would be.
Oh, Gloria, I thought it was just because she wanted good things for
Oh,
people.
yeah, all the billionaires are really Terry.
Okay, but the nuclear article, I didn't even have time to read myself because it's quite a long article, but I thought somebody might be
From the
interested.
Washington Post, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, behind all that Los Angeles violence that Trump is bringing there, he's very, very clever. He wants to link Claudia, the Mexico, to instigating that
Mhm.
because
Oh,
they're
wow.
so protective of the migrants and they give them a lot of support. So just be careful. That allows him to be more intrusive into Mexico, which he's really planning to do. So that's some of the newsletters are saying that. Some of the newspapers are saying that.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for watching all that stuff. Okay, so I don't think we have anyone new per se. So we can just go on. I know people have liked the check-ins, but we found that they just took so much time, and hopefully everybody chips in with opinions and stuff through the meeting. So we're just going to go ahead with this. Okay, so approval of disarm minutes from May 25th. I think you all got 2 versions.
Mhm.
And I mean, I thought they were extensive, more extensive than I would do myself, but they were
Yeah,
quite.
well, Ellen Mass sent me quite a lot of detail, and then I just, massage it a little bit.
No, it was good. It was good. Just if I found a few things, but minor, nothing.
But I checked. I did what you asked me there. Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So, are there any
Objections?
if there are no edits or any changes, then they stand as last submitted, which was the R1 version, I guess. So, okay. So Robin says peace. Okay. So we'll go. So they're approved. Okay. Now we're into hot topics. Gaza, Israel. Oh, it still says war, but I couldn't think what to say. I was thinking confrontation, conflict, but
No, it's a massacre.
Yeah,
Massacre.
but well,
Yeah,
most
but
people
put it.
consider it a war, but
No, it's not a war.
No, I know it is. That's why, that's why I said something, because it really isn't a war. I agree. It's a genocide. It's a
Yeah,
massacre.
it's a massacre.
Well,
It's
maybe
an
we should
army.
call it that. Have the gumption to call it what it is. I don't know.
Yeah,
right, we've
it's
been
an
using.
army that's massacring people living in refugee camps.
Yeah, 20 some a day or more.
Well, and the people who are trying to go get the food, that they as they go to try to get the food, they get shot. That's just
But
awful.
American contractors were supposed to be distributing that food. And yet the Israeli soldiers were there. American contractors were the ones supposedly doing that.
Mhm, mhm.
So
I think we really have to get the, if you go into the, places that really do serious research, like the gray zone, they've traced who the people are. And yes, they're right, Diane, they are connected to Israel. They are Israelis funding this, is what he's really discovered. And he's discovered it very conscientiously. So it's really awful. Once you trace who is doing this, it's for the politics of the outcome that we're seeing, which is to bring them into South Gaza, right? So then they can go and clear them out for good. They're trying to lure them away from their homes.
Trying
But
to get.
the important news right now is the boat where Greta Thunberg is on.
Mhm.
I
Where is
just saw on Instagram that it's possible that the Yemeni put them on another boat. Greta Thunberg, the woman who is a representative of Europe, and a man there. They were probably put on another boat.
Okay, I mean, I saw the little video where there were drones circling them. That was a couple of days ago. So this is right up to date, Odile, that.
Yeah, it's
Moving
right.
on.
A few minutes ago, I saw this.
Mhm.
I show it to Alan because it was difficult to understand, but it seems like they got on another boat because 10 years ago, when the people came with the boat, the Israeli army massacred 10 of them.
Right. 20, yeah. Yeah, we
10
heard
of
about
them
that.
were massacred, were killed, were shot.
And then there's another group of people who are trying to get to Egypt to do a land march
Yeah,
towards Gaza from the Egyptian side. Again, you just have to look at your favorite media to see these reports of what is being planned, or I get this, from various different organizations that I'm on their listserv.
yeah.
So please be
I
aware of
get
all
them.
this.
They've already had a huge march to the border of Gaza. I'm not sure exactly where they are. But between Palestinians and Israelis have had a combination huge march already.
That's from the Israeli side.
Yeah, that's in Israel, but there are a lot of Israelis in there and Palestinians, and they're
Right.
speaking.
I'm talking
of
about one
course.
from Egypt. There's apparently people flying into
Yeah.
Egypt.
It's an international march, that one.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Well, this one has already started, ongoing, so maybe it's a combination. I thought I sent it to you all, but
So it's a lot of marches. We don't know what the result is going to be. But so far, it's not anticipated that it be any good.
yeah.
Nothing we do seems, but yeah, there's also the fast that I'm not fasting. I try. Oh my, fast going on, and these people, veterans for peace in New York. That Robin sent the article about that. That are at the UN trying, and they're fasting on they're going on 250 calories a day. But the thing is, in Gaza, they don't have the water either. That's a huge thing because if I diet anyway, I like to have water available too. I mean, it's just so horrendous what they're
Water
doing.
is actually is the one thing you really do have to have. Yes.
Right, you do
Clean.
need to have water.
Clean.
Time.
Okay.
Okay, but we still have one. I have a hand, so Peggy.
I just wanted to say about Gaza, because we get so depressed. I heard somebody say it doesn't do any good to do all of this, but it is making a huge difference. If you talk to Jewish friends, or if you just examine yourself, I mean, I used to be a Zionist, and this is a world-changing time. I think the question of nationalism, Zionism, is really undergoing a huge change, and it's horrible what's happening to the people in the process. It is like a huge world war.
Eileen.
I like what Peggy just said, because there's a big ripple. I think that's what you're talking about, the ripple effect of this inhumane attack. I just wanted to bring up what was on Democracy Now! With Kathy Kelly in her third week of a fast. She was very explicitly saying the United States pulled its veto yet again in the Security Council to prevent any kind of stopping of weapons being sent to our country, sending to Israel. And she says, we can use this, not the Security Council, but the General Assembly law, which, well, they've used it 2 or 3, well, I think it was at least 30 years ago to counter a veto. We can do that, and that's what she's supporting.
Remind us who Kathy Kelly is, please.
Kathy Kelly's a nun who's been an activist for, I don't know, forever, 40 years, 50 years, been in jail for at least 60 times. She has a very quiet manner, but her message is strong.
She is also now president of War Beyond War
She's
with,
president now? Yeah, I know she was,
David Swanson.
yes.
Well, David
point.
Swanson is the executive and she's the president. I
Okay, thank you.
Didn't
Thank
know
you.
that.
Yeah,
That's
But
right.
she's been a long time activist during the Iraq War. We knew her then because she's from Chicago, but she was amazing. She was bringing suitcase of medication with a bishop that was in Detroit, Gambleton. Bishop Gambleton and Kathy Kelly were going to bring medication
2
in their
minutes past
suitcase
time.
to Iraq.
I have to add one more thing. I'm so sorry. I just read the notes. I need a correction for the notes on laws, my little section, and it's just a 3-liner. I'll put it in the chat
Send it to
It-
me by email.
instead of doing it in chat right now.
Yeah. Please.
Okay.
well, it
Okay.
changes the agenda at all?
No,
I'm-
she's talking about the
I'm
minutes. I
talking
believe
the minutes.
she's
Oh,
talking
the
about
minutes,
the last
okay.
minute. She suddenly realized there's
There's an error, okay.
I didn't have a chance to read the minutes. It's been a crazy time lately. And all I'm trying to do is do a correction for my section, okay?
Okay, I see, I understand, sorry. Okay, so we can go on. I guess we covered Gaza pretty well, and I don't know if we want to say anything about Ukraine. Anybody?
right. Well, I was just at a national, what's they called, NDCC, National Nuclear Disarmament Coordinating Committee. Unfortunately, they meet at 4 o'clock today till 5 o'clock, so I only heard the first 25 minutes. Somebody was saying regarding the attack called the Spider's Web, where drones came out of trucks next to Russian
Yeah,
air bases and destroyed a whole bunch of planes. Okay, there was an argument as to exactly how many planes, but one would have imagined that Russia, President Putin, would have said that was an act of war, which he's always said if there's an act of war, he's going to hit back with nuclear weapons, right? But apparently he did not see it as an act of war. He called it in his foreign department or somebody, it was an act of terrorism. Okay, so luckily for all of us, Russia decided to call that attack terrorist attack, not an act by Ukraine of war. All right, I thought that was, for us, a fortunate interpretation that the Russians have chosen to take on that particular attack. And
Held themselves back.
yeah, so I'm sure you all read about it. To me, it was amazingly clever that they managed to get these trucks, with cabins on the back, and then the roof of the cabin opened, and this nasty Ukrainian drone, had got all that way into Russia and went and bombed some of their planes that were sitting. These are the planes that deliver the missiles that attack Ukraine every night. Okay, so they had chosen those particular planes anyway. So again, you just have to, look at your favorite media.
How many planes did they destroy?
They think maybe 9, maybe
that-
10. They have 100 of these in different bases.
Okay.
Maybe they got 9. Apparently there are fake planes, there are decommissioned planes that they leave there as decoys, that they really don't have anything in them. And now, of course, the Russians realize that they have this weakness, and so they are now trying to, keep their planes in more shielded ways.
I think along with Peggy that this is a terrible escalation, and we haven't really seen how Russia is going to respond.
Well, they said it was an act of terrorism, so they've responded by hitting back at Ukraine overnight, by attacking apartment buildings and things like that.
They don't purposely attack apartment buildings as far as I can see, but they They
Well-
always go for the armed forces and weapons sections.
Well, but if you look at the pictures coming out of Ukraine, you will see apartment buildings, and you will read that civilians have been killed.
Yes.
I read that I don't take it for what you, because I don't even remember where I read it, but I did read that the planes were out on the tarmac as part of the last treaty that we have, and that was for us to be able to surveil and see that they are not taking off. And so it's not just terrorizing, but if that report is correct, then it means it's really tearing up the last treaty that we have.
Yeah,
with-
there's only one.
Does anybody else know more about that?
No, I don't know any. I'm not sure which treaty you're talking about, but you know, the BBC did a Verify. They have this Verify team, and these companies called Maxtor. They have such good satellite cameras. They can look, and they do. They're continually looking to see what's going on in the ground in our enemies, and they can see, you know, what's being moved and what's there and what's not there. So that's how the BBC, you know, had pre-attack photos and then they had post-attack photos, and they can see what looks different. And that's how we know what's going on in North Korea, for example, because North Korea doesn't tell us much. So we tell by looking at these photographs with very high resolution cameras who can look over a few meters, believe it or not, you know.
Well, the question of transparency, you know, in Judith's in Judith's video, she addresses that, and Bonnie, oh, what's her name? The woman that used to be the head of arms control with the State Department, Bonnie Jenkins.
Right.
That was her very great interest, was trying to use AI and negotiate transparency so that we let each other know what our status is.
Exactly.
So, you know, I'm not a negotiator, but I do think that finding a way to emphasize using AI for transparency so we know what each other are doing is a way to have more security, if not eliminate the weapons.
Good point.
I
However,
just wanted to say what Peggy mentioned about the last of the treaties. There is there was one last treaty. I don't think it was SALT. It started with an S. Does anybody know?
There's the new START treaty.
Was it START, START?
Yeah, that's gone.
Not SALT. The START treaty was still, it was going to end. Was it this summer?
Next February.
In February. So that's one that's still on the books.
Yes, and we're trying to get military, you know, the people who know how to do this are trying to have back channel, I understand back channel talks about getting it renewed or extended. So there's a lot of things that happen in the diplomacy world that we don't know about until hopefully something is resolved, and then we hear about it. So
okay, diffuse nuclear war is the next item. I don't know if anybody wants to say anything about that, because we have
Ukraine. Are we done with Ukraine?
Yeah,
I think we're done with Ukraine.
We're way past time. So
well, I did send out the detente statement to the WILPF discussion group, and Ellen's sending out to her normal people. So I will be sending it out to our sister organizations. And now you have it. You all got it the last 12 hours. Please forward it to your friends and relatives, because this needs to go to Congress as usual. Your congressional rep needs to hear about our ideas for using neutral institutions or neutral countries to get Ukraine and Russia back to the peace table, right? So it's only going to be useful if you all distribute it. It's a PDF file, and it comes with, there's a cover letter in the email that you could adopt yourself, because you're going to email this to people. So you need to say in your email a little bit about it, and you can use those words that we've given you. All right, Ellen Mass.
The introduction is that you got when she sent this out is a good one. I'm just saying that I put a lot of time in this statement as well as Cheryl did. And I really want to emphasize that my reason, because it is so cutting edge. We're talking about organizations that most of us don't even know about. We're going to have to look them up to really find out, suggesting these neutral Eurasian organizations that go beyond Europe. So all I'm saying is, I really hope that it gets us to be an educational within WILPF, because our last one did not make it. We got a little link in there that you had to really go through some hoops to get. But I'm hoping that it'll be published in a way from the Disarm Committee. We all voted, 13 of us last time, and I think we should get it in a prominent space under the disarmament arms topic, the category that we have on our website. So that's my hope, is that it becomes an internal educational policy not a policy, but a statement report, as well as sending it out to congresspersons. And we sent the earlier one to the embassies, and now this one was a correction. We said go beyond the one that we got wrong, which is OSCE. So now Cheryl and I spent a lot of time looking up the neutral organizations, but they're Eurasian. So I want you to, I think it would be educational to share this with a lot of our own members, and even international. They might have some comment on it.
I think the sending it out by email is actually a more effective way of distribution than putting it on our website. It's not clear how many people come to our website, and and where, depending on where it is, whether they find it. So really, please don't sit back and think, oh, it's going to be on the website. That is not enough. We need every one of you to be sending it out to your lists, your friends, your relatives, your other organizations, whether they're anti-nuclear or not. We want peace-loving organizations to see our statement here. Okay. Thank you, Ellen. And Peggy also spent time on it. Alan spent time on it. So thank you all, Gloria, for, generating it again. We will send it to Guan. I think it's already, oh no, I can't say it's gone. No. Okay.
There's going to be any news?
I thought it was.
It will be. Again, every e-news, WILPF Disarm has an article, and very few of you actually go and read the whole thing, according to the analytics that our IT people can see. How many of you are actually going and reading the whole e-news? So this coming e-news, it will be mentioned again, and that is, one reason for me to get it on the website is so you can link to it. In the e-news, I can't put the whole statement in the e-news. It's too long. It's 3 pages long. So.
Oh, you can, yeah.
I sent it out to my my branch, and I still am trying to get my head around what is within Eurasia.
We're 2 minutes past time.
We're past time. Eurasia is just a general term for the fact that Europe and Asia joined together at some point. And so it's a concept of, so Russia, for example, part of Russia is in Europe and part of Russia is in Asia. So we thought that the organizations that might be a peace broker would be useful if some of them sat in Asia. So the ASEAN is one of them. Actually, it's an economic alliance with people like Malaysia and Singapore and countries like that. So they would have some diplomats who maybe would be well enough versed in diplomacy that they could help have a peace conference or something. So that's
Okay.
all
Thank
right.
you. That helped. Thank you.
Okay, so theoretically, according to the agenda, we've been allotted 15 minutes about, and we have been almost 40 minutes for what was allotted 15. So, but we'll try to go with it, but maybe we could try. Okay, so then diffuse nuclear war is the next item?
That was
was
what we
it.
just did. We were just talking really about Ukraine.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
did 4C. So now
Okay.
we're 5 little I.
Okay.
And we already did the deterrent
That
statement.
was still Ukraine? I thought we were
Yeah.
talking about diffuse nuclear war.
Yes. So pardon me, it was Iran. Pardon me. No, sorry. We did talk about Iran. I gave you a link there about needing, what I talked about diplomacy and what have you. So yeah. So please go look at the one, at least look at the one link I gave you in. I looked it up. Lots of ideas out there, concerns. Iran says they're not enriching for bombs. A lot of people don't believe them. This is just one of the articles you can read. This came from The Hill, which is it's a political organization that
Yes.
deals with Capitol Hill is what they're talking about. All right, sorry, pardon me.
Okay, good.
I think
So
we're
now
done.
the campaign reports. So the first one is, well, we already talked about
We did that.
we
Yeah.
already did all that.
Yeah.
I
So I
believe.
can be brief
But
about.
did Judy give us a report?
No,
Wait a minute.
we're not there yet. We're at 5 little I.
Okay. I don't have the agenda.
Yes, make Alan print it for you, please. So
No, Alan didn't print it this time.
It's AI.
all right, 80th anniversary. I am working on our trifold that we had updated for the Oppenheimer film.
Are you doing 5A or what? I can't keep time if I don't know what
Yes.
we're talking about.
Little A? A is all the things that come with a Roman numeral little I.
Oh,
Sorry,
okay.
okay.
You're doing continue to press for disarmament?
Yes, that's what we're doing.
Okay. There's no time on it.
Okay, so
5 minutes.
I'm just saying I am working on the trifold, changing it. Unfortunately, the people over the Pentagon had a bill last session. They don't yet have a bill. And so I'm trying to find other resolutions to put in the space on the trifold that dealt with people over the Pentagon. I wrote to them and said, are we going to have a bill? They haven't written back. I'm hoping some branches will be doing things. That national organization that's arranging for things all over the country, actually all over the world, we are still working on that. So back from the brink, again, I've given you a link in the agenda. They are now counting down. They started 80 days before August the 6th. And so you go to that website, you will find lots of ideas of what you could be doing between now and August the 6th. But I know Monterey is going to have something. I already heard from them. If your branch is going to be doing something, I'd very much like to know, because if you look at past e-newsers from last year, we had about 10 branches that did something. And I wrote about it in an e-news article after the fact. Send your photographs, etc. So that's what I have to say about the 80th. I see Peggy, you have a hand up.
Hope it quick. Can the satellite, the effort to stop that ICBM satellite rearmament, there has been focus on that, and I think MAPPA organized something recently. Can that fit into this?
You're talking about the Golden Dome?
Excuse me?
Are you talking about the Golden Dome?
No. Remember that last year, I think, we did something that we supported an effort by a guy who had a congressman from Washington who had started.
Garamendi, yes.
Yeah,
So he doesn't have, he has, we're waiting to see if he can have another, what do they call, briefing on this.
Well,
He's
I
been
hate
a bit
to
quiet.
raise this because
Right, so
I'm saying this to you, Cheryl, and it's because I'm not going to be able to do it and myself. But if there is a way to fit in what MAPA is doing, I think they're trying to do an initiative to get that going. And so if it could be part of this outreach, it would.
Yes, yes. So we will tomorrow, as you will be, Tuesday. There is this tactical Tuesday that we are in charge of, and I was going to talk about that later in the. Well, it's actually the next item. If we want to go to item 2, little II, Norton's bill. All right. So you all know what Norton's bill is, and so at 8 o'clock my time on Tuesday morning. And you can all work out 11 o'clock Tuesday morning, we will have another of these. Mary Beth has set this up, Tactical Tuesdays, where we want as many of you as possible to register. And you've been sent some registration link, and you'll get another e-alert tomorrow morning. Sure. So please come. It's an hour-long thing, but in fact, you could be done in about 20 minutes. If you come and you know your congressperson's address, phone number, and you will have talking points that some of us are finishing off right now, and a script. So you can phone your congressperson and say, we have too many nuclear weapons. There'll be various things you can say. We don't like the Sentinel. We don't like the modernization of the ICBMs. We don't like this. In general, we don't like how much money is being spent on all of them. And we want the money moved from nuclear weapons to these healthcare, education and stuff like that. That's all encapsulated in HR 1888, which is what we call the Norton Bill. You recall every session, Eleanor Holmes Norton brings up, any congressperson can start a bill, and so she starts this bill every year, and we're looking for co-sponsors. So will be the aim of what you're all going to do, I hope, on Tuesday morning. The time has been chosen to be before lunchtime. I mean, Mary Beth has looked into this. We're calling these people before they all go for lunch. If you're lucky, you'll reach a staffer. I did this last week, talking about the so-called big, beautiful bill. I talked to 2 different senators, staff people. I had a script. I also had my own ideas of what I wanted to say about how awful the bill was. And apparently the reason to phone and speak to someone is on the scale of what's most effective. Doing that is the most effective, besides actually walking into their office in the Capitol. But the next one is to phone and talk to a staffer on the phone. They're counting, Now, I happen to have Democrats, but those of you who have a Republican congressperson, please phone them. You may find a recording. You may find they don't, because they know how angry everybody is about the budget currently. You may have an opportunity to say something to their recording machine. You have 30 seconds. But practice what you're going to say. Make sure you can say it in 30 seconds.
Do any people here have Republican representatives?
I have one in Texas, and I always call him.
Right. Anybody else? Everybody's got Democrats?
I have Democrat, but you might still say when it comes to war, he is a Republican.
Right. Oh. So you've still got to talk to your Democrats, because they have the conviction when they stand on the floor of the House or the Senate and say, my constituents say thus and such. We still have to talk to our Democrats. Okay. Don't say to yourself, well, I don't need to, and I'm going to vote against it anyway. So all right, especially looking for co-sponsors for HR 1888, which is what the point is. Joan.
Yeah, I just wanted to be sure that we mention Ellen Thomas, because she's the one who has worked on this for decades. Thank you.
Right.
Norton and her staff. Thank you.
So Ellen has disappeared, but yes.
Yeah, she's doing 2 things.
Two things, right. So anyway, so we will, Ellen Schwartz, who is the IT person of the Zoom account, is supposed on Monday night, is supposed to send me all the names of and addresses of those of you who have registered. And then I will send an email to all of you with the talking points and the actual script. If you feel you need a script, if you don't feel you need to know enough, there'll be a script to help you speak to your staff persons, okay? So 30 people actually registered for these Tactical Tuesdays. There are 4 of them. This is the second. But only 11 of us turned up last Tuesday. So, and those 30 didn't include some of you. So
I think
please.
it's a great idea. Just
Yeah.
the wrong time of day for me. I can't make it, unfortunately, but it's a
At
wonderful
8 a.m.
thing. I
8 a.m.
Kudos for setting it up. It's a
Right.
wonderful idea.
So anyway, so that was number 2, little 2.
And thank
And
you,
it's
Cheryl, for doing
Tuesday.
that.
Tuesday, what date?
This coming Tuesday, the 10th
Oh.
of June.
Okay.
And the next 2 following Tuesdays too. Okay,
Yes.
Robin?
Yes, on my calendar on Tuesday at, I think at noon, ANA, Alliance for Nuclear Accountability meeting is giving a reward to Eleanor
Award.
Norton. Am I not right?
They will be giving an award to her. I'm not sure what the time is. I was hoping we have in the agenda later, we have a report on the DC days that, okay, AI is confused. They think I'm speaking in a different language.
But when you are speaking of 8 a.m., you mean Eastern time or Pacific time?
8 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. Eastern time, and then you have to work out, you're in Detroit, what that means.
And it better not be 8 a.m. Eastern time, because that would be 5 a.m.
Yes.
Pacific time. That would be not good.
Right.
So-
No, we're not that stupid. All right. So
2
that,
minutes overtime.
okay, and there is you see in the agenda, it says register here in block capitals. Okay, just hit that and you will register for this Tactical Tuesday.
Wait
Thank
a
you.
second. You mean in the notes?
In the agenda.
Oh,
In
got it.
Agenda.
Okay.
I spend a lot of time creating this
Thank
agenda.
you,
putting
Cheryl.
links.
It is wonderful. And the fact that you took this Tactical Tuesday on, I really appreciate it.
Right.
Thank you.
And the
So-
register here is in blue, so it shows up. Woohoo.
Right. When I print in black and white. Okay, so we can move on to the next item, which is
Actions
Well,
with various coalitions, reports
yes.
on informative events.
Right. So I did send you yesterday, some of us went to this militarization of schools.
Are we
Webinar.
we're interacting with the media?
No, we're at
Oh,
number 3. Sorry, it's a typo. Little 3, report on actions within our various coalitions. And I missed a little I. It should be I. Sorry.
Mine was stricken out, but you are going to talk about it.
No, you must not be looking at the right agenda. This is not stricken out.
My agenda is not correct. Thank you.
Oh dear. Anyway, so militarization of schools happening in various countries in Europe. I sent you by a disarm discussion within the last 2 hours a link to the recording, which is fascinating to hear what they're doing in Belarus from kindergarten onwards. They are having the kids, play with toy guns, and then when they get older, they have them play with real guns, and they are dressing them up in military uniforms and having them march in parades and sing, patriotic songs. This is true this is kind of a common theme from those countries that I mentioned there, not just Hungary, Belarus, Italy. Italy has so many NATO and US bases. They have military people all over, and some who go into the schools and talk to the kids there. And they're trying to persuade university students, especially women university students, that going into the military is a good career path. Or you can be an engineer in the military. Well, let them be an engineer in non-military jobs is what I say, but this is and you will learn all this if you listen to the recording that I sent you. It's just over an hour. I recommend it to you because we know that we have this thing called the ROTC, right? And we know that some of them do get into our high schools. But what we heard about what's happening in Europe is a lot bigger and more detailed, is what I would say. So I hope some of you went and listened to the Palestine Exception film. This was hosted by MEPJAC on the 28th of May.
Yeah.
I went to hear that again.
Yes,
I believe there's probably a recording of that. Let's see, I have all these things that I accumulated here. Military bases around the world. This was on the 26th of May, just after our last meeting. Resist NATO. We've heard of Resist NATO. They're a sister organization to Global Women Against NATO. And they told us about, all the different bases all over the world and why the bases are not good. They're not good for the environment, etc., etc.
Oh, I need to speak.
Yes. Yes.
We were going to go to NATO, but Alan's brother, who lives in California, just passed away.
Mm-hmm.
So we are no longer able to go to that as we are waiting for the family meeting and burial.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
sorry.
Thank you for telling us, Odile, and our condolences, Alan.
So you were going to go to The Hague for the pre-NATO?
She wanted to.
We cannot go.
Yeah. Okay, well, sorry.
Because the burial in California is going to be around the 25 or 26. I don't know when exactly.
And
so
where
that will
are
be
you?
late, and we cannot zigzag. We cannot go to Europe and then go to California. It's too much money.
Right. And remind me, are you close to Palo Alto when you're here?
We are in Bishop, California.
Yes, no, it's not close to Palo Alto.
No.
Sorry. I was going to say, come visit if you are. So the last thing I wanted to say under this coalitions is Tim and Wallace, who you all hopefully remember.
Yes.
He's the leader of Warheads to Windmills. He has written a new book, all right? We've told you about his old book. His new book is called Nuclear Abolition, a Scenario, right? We all read Nuclear War, a Scenario by Annie Jacobsen. So he has written a book in a similar vein called Nuclear Abolition, showing you chapter by chapter how it's possible that we could get rid of nuclear weapons and ending up with a nuclear weapon-free world. And I see Joan has got already a book. You have it already, Joan? I have ordered 2 of them.
Yes, that came very quickly. I think we sometimes order from Amazon. I think it came from Amazon.
Right. I tried to go and get my books from independent booksellers or Books Inc.
Right.
I ordered 2. So we want you to, to try to buy this, or you tell your library to get it. So let me tell you again, you can jot this down and I'll try to find time to put it in the chat. Nuclear Abolition, a Scenario by Timmon, Timmon, Wallis, Wallis. All right. It's rather expensive. It's a hard copy. If you're willing to write a review for him, he will send you a free one, but you have to promise to do a review. Okay, get it published somewhere. Anyway, so we're part of that coalition. It's very important that we support this book. Ellen Mass.
Hi, thank you. Because I have to go. I'm just doesn't stop running my nose and I feel terrible. So I go. But I wanted to say on the 22nd of June is when Guam, Global Women United, are having the big alternative, the alternative summit in The Hague. And this is enormous. And Nancy Price will speak there, and she will also they'll be showing the next 200 photos of us holding up the Nota NATO. I think some of you are in
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
So please don't forget the 22nd. A lot of WILF women will
And-
be there.
And it is now going to be live streamed, and so it's in
Yes.
my list of things to do. I was waiting a few days before I
Oh, okay.
reminded
But
you all.
I-
You can go and watch it from the comfort of your home. It'll be 9 hours ahead. So for me, it depends, how late you want to stay up. But having been live streamed, I can believe that it will be recorded, and therefore the recording will be available later.
I will send out the list of what you would get in those 2 days that they're going to have activities, and we
Yes.
can't miss it because there were WILF women there, and
Right. Mhm.
this is
Yes.
us.
Yes,
And
thank
some
you.
of us are showing a part of it with our photographs. So,
Yes, thank you.
okay.
And when you say Nancy Price, I don't think will actually be there. She will be
No,
the
she'll, yeah.
voiceover over your 200 photographs.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
It's a
So
beautiful
thank you. So
presentation.
that's another coalition that we, are
That's
working.
wonderful.
Mhm.
Hélène Mas, thank you for sending us all the things that are happening. I will try to go
Online.
online, yeah, to see that, since we were going to be there, but now
Yeah,
we can.
We can't.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. That it would have been wonderful to have representation like.
Yeah, we would have liked to, but
Me too. Oh, well.
All right.
Okay, so
I'm
the
done.
next is PEP. Judith?
No, it's interacting with the media. New
Oh,
ideas
yes,
from Gloria.
Gloria. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, let me just find the page. I dropped my notebook. All right, here we go. All right, I'm gonna make this fast. We have 5 minutes, so prepare for fast talking. Jane Addams and Linda Lowe have the same media strategy. Explain. They both courted young women reporters at the start of their careers. Linda Lowe is making some project with some young women who are going to report on the situation in their area. She is going for a grant. I do not know the details. Item 2, street theater. Guan's No to NATO Summit. Margaret Bonin of Germany has proposed to do a die-in skit. And she isn't getting a lot of traction on that, and I'm very unhappy as a theater person. Put that in the notes. Item 3, State Department directory, phone directory. Use this. I will send the link to it. It is up to date. It is for this year. Item 4, Eileen Kurkowski reported to me that the Boston Globe covered her, correct me if I'm wrong in how I described this, Eileen, in a hazmat suit and took photos. But the photo was not run. And Eileen asked, is there anything salvageable from that? And my answer is yes. Thank that person, because in Tucson, we do this a lot. And these young reporters come, they do interviews, they have the grannies sing for them, they hand it into the editor and it gets killed. But these again are like item 1, Jane Addams finding young reporters and getting them as friends for peace when they're young. And I am done. Thank you.
Wow, great.
Okay, but
Okay,
let's,
any questions?
just a clarification. So Linda Lowe, our new executive director, is trying to find youngish women reporters, newspaper reporters.
I don't know if they're officially journalism majors, but she's training them to report. So this is
Journalism majors.
They may
Okay.
be, or they may not be. Put that, make sure you add that, because they may just be young women who are good at writing, and she's having them report on the, I don't know, the peace situation or issues in their areas. And try
Okay.
to get a grant for it.
All right. Thank you. And then, so Eileen was in a hazmat suit,
Yeah,
and the
correct.
photograph was lost, was not
Is she
published.
still here? Is Eileen here? She could correct me.
Yeah,
Details.
she's here. She's
Eileen?
blank.
Maybe she's not at her computer at the moment, but
Right. Anyway, so thank you for all these efforts, Gloria, as usual.
I'm back. I got a phone call that I had to take. Yeah, I'm going to dress in white, and I'm trying to convince a few other people to spend 15 or 18 bucks on a hazmat. It's really a painter's outfit. And for a demonstration on H&N in Watertown Square.
But
And
reported.
Lori
we're
was,
planning on a bigger event. We meaning the leaders, particularly the legislator, Tony Palumbo, who with an amazing team for a small city. It's not a city, a small town. They do a lot.
We were reporting though on the past one where you asked me for how could this be salvaged, even though they didn't report you in the Globe. And you wanted to know what else can I do? And I told you to thank her even so, because then you get a kind of a. what
Oh
I
my
said-
gosh, right after you sent that, that letter. Yeah, I sent a letter to it was 3 paragraphs, not only describing WILF as working for peace for, since 1915, but
Mhm,
talked about Emily Green Bosch, and
mhm.
I mentioned her because she wrote letters and convinced folks, well, actually, Woodrow Wilson and his cabinet to at least put a couple of articles in the League of Nations, which he led up doing, and that we help organize, we influence the the United Nations. And what else did I say?
was it published or not, Eileen?
No, it wasn't
I just
published.
sent
but
it yesterday. It's building a relationship with a reporter.
This is post not being published. Follow what I'm saying, everybody. It was post not getting it in the paper. And I already told you that often a young reporter will submit something and the editor will kill it, okay? And how can we salvage this? I said we do exactly what Jane Addams did. We send a thank you to that young reporter and we establish a relationship. What you are just
That's all I'm
describing
doing.
is that letter. Yes.
Time.
Okay.
Thank you.
And you know what? I just want to throw this in because I spent a few hours with a group of people who do what Jane Addams did and what Emily Green Bosch tried to establish. They've been working in Dorchester. It's a medium to low income area in of Boston. And they were doing what they call a kind of a graduate college discussion. And in fact, it was more like a lecture with intermittent conversation on sustainable goals, the UN initiative. I think we should be mailing stuff to all of now this is more for Earth democracy stuff, but the war affects our Earth big time in poverty and water and you name it.
Mhm.
I think maybe some of our messages should include, could you write something about SDGs? Because according to this report that they studied, this woman researched a lot for, media has not done much of anything, if anything, on the SDGs since they were established and the US agreed to them. All 193 nations agreed to them. And they're a way of getting out of our mess. I had to throw that in because it was so hot on my mind.
It's an SDG.
Sustainable
Development Goals.
Development Goals.
It's
There are
not
30
done
of them.
Since 2000, what was it? 15. And
Yeah,
in
there are
2030,
30.
we're supposed to cut poverty, get better clean water, get better jobs. And we were doing well till COVID hit.
Right, right. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Maybe Diane, we go on.
Okay, so now Judith can speak on PEP.
Okay. So first of all, if you look at the agenda, I went and found the right one. And it says, have any branches signed up for a watch party? So first of all, these are not watch parties. What we're trying to construct here are going to be called peace treaty petition parties.
I'm sorry,
The stress,
wanted
don't worry
shorthand.
about it, Cheryl, don't worry about it. With the stress on petition, peace treaty petition parties. So that's the first thing I would like to mention. The second thing would be to answer the question, have any branches signed up? What I did was I sent a personal email to all of the branch leaders of WILF and WILF US, a personal email inviting them to come to the Jane Addams Zoom that will be on the 18th of this month. So I sent them out, about 4 days ago. I right away got 2 replies that said, I will be there. But I got a 3rd reply from a young woman who basically cares enough to tell me that she said, I want you to know that I think that you're not going to have anybody come to this. No one will come. I want you to understand that young people are where the future is for WILPF, and people need to be helping young people do whatever it is that we are doing to establish and build a peace system. She feels she's building a peace system, and that I should be helping her do something to build her peace system, and some other comments that went along those same lines. So what I did was I was discouraged right away when a young person says, and she said, I will not be there, and I don't think anybody else will be coming either much, because we're all very busy with what we are doing. We're very concerned with what we're doing. So don't be disappointed if nobody comes. And so I wrote her back and assured her that I'm well aware of how busy people are, and I'm well prepared for the fact there may not be many people there. I personally, well, I won't say how many I want will make me happy, but I wrote her back and answered her various questions, and we are now communicating. So that's one bit of information about these peace treaty petition parties. A young person got back to me who really cares and said, the idea of going to another Zoom is horrible. I have no time for Zooms. They're very time consuming, and I'm really busy. I also had a personal friend. She's not so much a friend as a former acquaintance. She is my book packager. When I was writing books 15, 20 years ago, she would take my text and package it so it would go to Amazon for sale. So she knows my writing. She knows my many years of working on war and what I've written about. She found it on Facebook that I had posted, hey, I have this video that, and here's the link. And out of the clear blue sky, I haven't heard from her for 20 years. Out of the clear blue sky, she said, Judith, this is a fabulous video. This may be one of the best things you've ever written or done. And so we started talking about it. And after a little bit more communication back and forth, she went to look at the page that's on our website to talk about, if you're going to give a party, here's some ideas about what you need to do. This is how the party could go, because people need suggestions and resources and information. And she said, Judith, nobody's going to come to this. I don't know how you think you're going to get people. The world, all my friends, she's very new age. She said, all my friends are just depressed out of their minds. They're very afraid. They see things are horrible, things are going on, and all of them are doing one thing or the other because they feel they need to do something. They must do something. But to come to a Zoom and listen to a video, how do you think you'll get them? And so I've been addressing that question, and now I want to do a screen share real quickly. This is share. I hope it'll work. Screen share.
It should work. So everyone's supposed to be able to share screen.
It's looking good so far. I clicked on that, and then I said share.
And there it is.
And there it is. So I slept on that and thought about it a lot. And I said, I understand. But one of the things she said is, Judith, you don't understand how hard it is for people on the telephone to call up somebody. To get anybody to call anybody is very hard to do. And what are they going to say? You need to give them some help. You need to give them some narration, some text. So that's what you're looking at. This is what I think we'll have on the website as a suggestion for, and I'm pointing out here, you can use it as a flyer for a brief phone call, or in handing out something to, or talking to somebody in person. And the first one would go on a flyer: hope, connection, possibility. If I were talking in person to a person, I wouldn't use that. Then these are stressful times. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by the bad news. What if there was some good news, real hope, and a way to be part of something truly meaningful? Join us for a peace treaty petition party where we will Watch a short, thought-provoking video that offers surprising, uplifting news that doesn't make headlines. You'll connect with other women who believe we need to and can create a less violent and more nurturing future, and explore the powerful question, can we actually end war? If so, can we do something about it? This isn't just a gathering, it's a chance to be part of a growing movement for peace and justice by fashioning a world that's safer for the children of today and tomorrow. If this intrigues you, come for the inspiration, stay for the conversation, leave with hope, and then their information for where to go. That will now be, or something, the version of it, will be on that Throw a Peace Petition Party website. So people, when they come there, when we direct them there on the Jane Addams Day, because that's what I'll do, I'll take them to that page on the website. They will see, here is material. If they want to invite people, what do you say to them about what you're going to be doing? This will be that. Now I'm going to stop screen sharing and just talk. I hope my time is okay. I can't watch time and pay attention to time at the same time.
You're over, but never mind.
But never mind. Okay. Going right ahead, the next thing that the Jane Addams meeting will start that way with, I welcome. I'm going to say this is going to be a demonstration. If you give a party, this is what it'll look like. And we'll welcome you. You've got something to drink, a little something to eat. You sit down in a chair. And now we show the video that will answer this question. Is it possible to end war? After the video, and I won't show it. I will show it. Yes, I will show it on the Jane Addams meeting. And that's because they must see the video. You cannot throw one of these parties meaningfully unless you have looked at the video, because you won't know what you're doing or what you're talking about. So we're going to show it to all the branch members that come, and hopefully it'll be all of them, but we'll show them the video, take care of that right away, and then we'll point out the next thing would be discussion of what's in the video. And I will suggest a couple of questions that people might ask them after they watch this video. We won't have a discussion, but I'll point out that's when you do a discussion. And then I will take them to the site and show them where it is on their cell phone. They are instructed, if you come to this meeting, bring your digital device, your cell phone or your iPad or something like that. Bring your device, because you'll want to follow along during the meeting. And now we get to the part where I take them on their cell phone, their digital device. I take them to change.org, where our petition is right there for everyone to read. And I think if time allows, we will read the petition aloud so they know what the petition they're pushing says. And then they sign the petition. That, by the way, is the real goal of these parties, to get people to sign the petition, because if it's going to be effective, we need 100,000 signatures. A petition that is to be directed to the people at the UN General Assembly. And that's where it's supposed to go, the UN General Assembly. If it's less than 100,000 or something near there, it doesn't get any attention. So we have a 3-year campaign to collect those signatures. That's where we want to get people to go sign the petition. And then I'll have to tell them 2 things about the signing. Once you sign that petition on your device, you can't sign it again there. If you go back again, you want to show somebody else, you want to take them to your device and have them sign the petition, they can't. Change.org will only, on that device, allow one person to sign it once. That's it. And the people need to tell people that. Once you sign it, don't expect to be able to go there and do it again or show somebody else they can do it there. And secondly, once you sign the petition, you will get follow-ups from us. You will get follow-ups telling you how many have we signed now? What are we doing to get more petitions? How's the petition campaign going? They will be getting follow-ups. And then the last thing I'm going to say, well, I won't even tell you that. If you want to know what the last thing I'm going to say is, come to the Jane Addams branch meeting.
Oh, the suspense. Okay, thanks.
Well done.
Okay.
I like your new invitation. I think it's I like the words there. Don't tell them they'll get a lot of follow-up, because people often don't sign things because they fear they're going to
We
be,
don't want any.
we don't
Good
want any.
point.
So just, and I know because I've signed a long time ago, I don't get that much, actually.
No, you don't get them.
No,
But
I get occasionally it'll tell me something, but don't give the impression to their people that they'll get a lot.
good
Just
point.
hey,
Good point.
once a month, maybe.
Well, we don't even send them regularly. We send them when there's something hot and new to tell them.
Right.
And we definitely don't want to send them a lot repeatedly because they won't read them. They'll hate getting them.
Right.
But
And
I,
so
an estimate about once a month is fine or something, but so that's very little. So
that's roughly it. Yeah.
but it's, yeah, you need to say that because people don't, everybody
And
has.
just to say that's June the 18th.
Yes.
June the 18th is the Jane Addams branch meeting. And Diane, what time is that? So I can put it in my diary.
Eastern time, 5 Pacific.
Okay. Everybody,
Yeah.
please note that down.
Okay, we have 3 hands raised and Eileen's been there the longest. So Eileen and then Peggy, then Robin.
Okay.
June 18th. I've got you down. Okay, yeah, Judith, I managed to do a pitch on your peace approach, and I had the QR code as part of the, actually was where I was wearing a message about you with the QR code on my chest. Yeah, I put it
You
around
are
my
so creative.
And after I did a talk for Memorial Day, there were about 80 people present. The Vets for Peace and many other organizations were there, but they did a very solemn and theater presentation next to Faneuil Hall, a big historical thing in Boston. And one young woman came up to me and says, "Can I take a picture of your sign?" She approached me for your QR code.
And I don't even know about QR codes. How did you get it and what is it? And I should probably start using it. Okay.
Someone made one for you. It does work because I tried it. I wouldn't use it if I didn't.
Can you email it to me?
Oh, we
How
can,
do they work? I don't know how they work.
okay.
Let's talk. You were supposed to call me. I was waiting. Just give me a
Right.
ring. I'll put my number in the chat again.
I've got your number. I
It's
apologize for not calling.
It's one of those square blocks with lots of little squares
Yeah,
inside
I
it.
know what it is. I just don't know how to use it.
And then you point your interactive phone camera at it and it takes you to a website. So
That'll
Eileen,
be great.
and you can take any website. There's a free make a QR code feature on app
Yep.
on the web, which I have used to create QR codes for all kinds of websites that I want people to go to who only have their phones with them. So I walk around with that at my big meetings and ask people to point their phone at this, and then it takes them to wherever. So Eileen did that for you. Okay.
Eileen, I can go do that. I guess you go to QR code.
Somebody did it because I got it from you, hun.
All right. So anyway, yeah, just
Hey,
Google.
by the way, that's the way this will go, you guys. Word of mouth, people passing it on. That's the secret.
Just Google, any of you, Google create a QR code for free.
For free. Okay,
free.
I love it. Price is right.
The price is excellent. Yeah.
Okay, who's next?
Peggy and then Robin,
Well,
and then Odile. Peggy?
I just was going to say, Judith, I've posted the video on Facebook and X, and I get response. And I think it would be good if you would post it regularly, just put it on, put it out on Facebook regularly, and other people will pick it up and push it around.
That is exactly what my friend, my book packager friend said to me, because that's how she found it. She said, "Judith, you should post it every day. Every day when you get up, put it on Facebook." I can do that, but there is a little problem with this. The video carries the main message of hope that we can end war and how we would do it, but it doesn't direct people to the petition.
Well, add that.
What we need to do is get people to the petition.
Well, add that. Post the video and then
I
at your
did.
intro,
And
invite them, put a link into your petition.
a
I
few,
learned.
If you want to do something about this, click here.
Mhm.
Thank you. Thank you. Will do. Thank you. Robin?
Yes, I'm not able to access or find the agenda and wondering whether Africa Day is on the agenda because
Yeah, it's
I can
next.
say something.
It's next.
Next, Robin.
And
Okay.
Odile? Odile?
You had your hand raised, Odile.
Yes, I wanted to say that the QR code, they probably find within WILF, but in Europe now, people are getting their phone infiltrated through QR codes. So QR code are only for a short time until we will not soon be able to use any of them.
Oh,
I've not heard that.
Have them. I
I'm
can't.
not-
That would be hard for me to believe, Odile, because all these restaurants rely on them to pay and stuff. But who knows? Things change so quickly. Okay, so Robin, you can go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So Africa Day, we had Africa Day just yesterday, and it was pretty successful, I would say. 75 people or so came, and Julie Kalabuka, I'm sorry, don't have her name right, but
Johnny.
yeah,
Yeah.
from Boston, actually came up here and was the moderator and did an excellent job on inviting people to speak and monitor the conversation. I was on a panel at the beginning as I was made president of Africa Day. It doesn't have an organization, but whatever. And I was seated next to the Brigadier General of the National Guard. And of course, I couldn't resist saying that as this event is sponsored by the Women's International League for Peace and Freedom, we oppose war, and we in Africa we do not support AFRICOM as a outreach system for the United States. We support education and medical aid. And he was there, he was polite. And later we had another panel and it had another National Guard person on it. And of course, because we have a sister city and the National Guard Vermont has a special relationship with Senegal. And so they have sort of taken over the sister city, to my mind, and made it a National Guard thing, which I think which I don't like. And this is the way the National Guard and militarism infiltrates civic activities. And
Yeah.
so anyway, I was just reporting to that, but otherwise it was a good meeting and excellent food afterwards. You always need that.
Was it African food?
Yes, from 3 different countries.
Wow.
Excellent. So you had 75 people in person in a community room in Burlington,
Mhm,
came out for
mhm,
Africa Day. Lovely,
mhm.
thank you. And was any of it recorded in any way? Video?
Yes. And I will make sure that gets out to our network.
Yes, please. Yes.
Okay.
Well, thank you. But I don't understand why National Guard men were there.
Well,
Maybe.
because they had gone on the first delegation to Senegal, to this town, which is our sister city. So it was
Okay,
part of a sister city relationship.
okay.
And because every National Guard, and I'm sure Massachusetts and all that their National Guard has special relationships in 2 or 3 places around the world where money is spent to send guards people, and they are often doctors, or they do good work, and they make people think that America is nice and our militarism is good and so on. I mean, no, that's the technique of the National Guard. It's not, it doesn't feel like a full militarism group, but it's a National Guard, they're volunteers, blah, blah, blah. So people are more friendly towards them. And these two guys were very nice. So what can I say? Except that I don't want it to be that way if we have another Africa Day next year.
Robin, did you gain any new members or interest?
You are asking an important question. Our management group was not working at full speed. I brought name tags, and so everyone had name tags, but believe it or not, we did not have a sign-up list. The crucial thing in order to, you know, be in touch with people afterwards and so on. I mean, I know a number of them and other people. I think we're forming an official committee, so it won't be, you know, do as best you can, but things will be formalized next time.
Well, you did your best. Yeah, if I would have gone up with Julie. We had a meet and greet here that we had planned for a month or two.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty soggy here. I mean, the rain really came down. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know how her drive up was, but it was a mess here.
Yeah, I was really grateful for her to make the trip up here. It was really nice.
That's great. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Oh, I have to tell you something. I just got a message saying Israeli occupation forces have seized the Gaza Freedom Flotilla and abducted those on board.
They
Seized,
did what?
seized the
Seized.
flotilla,
Ship?
the
Yeah.
ship, and abducted the people on board, Odile
What?
says.
And that's Greta Thunberg.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, and a member of the European Parliament and some other people.
Mm-hmm.
So the IDF has captured these people?
Yes.
Right. So I think if you went to your favorite, you know, CNN or something right now, if it's breaking news, they should have that up.
Mhm.
It's the middle of the night there.
International water?
Is it? Yeah, probably.
Maybe,
Probably.
maybe.
So,
Well, it's the coast of Gaza. I don't know if
so
it's
they were close enough, were they?
Huh?
Yeah,
We'll
I
find
mean,
out. We'll find out. It will
Right.
be, it's big news.
Time.
thank you.
Okay, Peggy?
I just want to respond to Robin talking about the National Guard and the fact that the National Guard is a local
Supposed to be.
volunteer force, and it's as long as it's going to be, we're going to have things like that, and finding a way to transform that motor force. There's a patriotism there, there's a camaraderie there, and finding the way. That's where the Peace Corps began.
Yeah.
And find, I think engaging them, talking to them about that, because I don't know any now in Georgia, but in Alabama, I did know people who were in the National Guard, and I think that there are conversations to be had. I don't have a solution, a point to arrive
right.
at, but if you have that opportunity, I'm glad. I'm glad they get to know you and to have a deeper conversation.
Yes, you're right. Thank you.
I agree. Okay, so we're on to the next one, and that's working with other issue committees. So Nancy is not here.
She sends her regrets. Nancy sends her regrets, but she does want you all got an e-alert yesterday morning about 3 different webinars. One that happened yesterday morning, which is why I pushed on Glenn to get that out. our IT man who does our e-alerts. The e-alert went to every one of our members. And included in those 3, there are the other thing that we all want you to do on June the 10th is to attend the evening webinar with this Professor Lota, okay, who is going to talk about neutrality and NATO. So we want you to register for that. And again, in the agenda, there's the registration link for that. And for the June 12th webinar, which is about war and climate by a very well-known, respected professor from Oxford University, he's going to be speaking about the connections and making, specifically, I believe, making some connections that we can use then in our literature about how war, military activity is contributing to climate change. She also helped to, I read in her bio, she helped to found the costs of war out of Brown University. Brown University tells us every year how much war is costing us, and it's an excellent resource. So please, now, this is a webinar that's coming, I believe it's coming out of Europe, and but if you go to the registration link that came with the e-alert, and I just, in the minutes, when I sent you the minutes, the R1 minutes earlier today, I repeated some of that information at the bottom of that email.
I just put it in the chat. If you
Yes, so here we
click on
are.
it, you can register right now.
That is the one, that is ours. Then that's on the 10th. So 2 things to do on Tuesday. If you're here in California, 8 a.m. in the morning, 5 p.m. in the afternoon, things to do. But on the 12th, 2 days later, is this webinar coming out of Europe, and one of our members had difficulty registering on her iPad. She couldn't get to it. So in the end, there is in my email to you all, an email address of this person who you are to write to if you cannot register. For some reason, getting to this webinar, it's not a WILPF webinar, it's a completely different organization that we are helping to advertise because we think it's very pertinent to what we're trying to do. So please, if you find you get a blank page, nothing happens when you press register, you write to that other person whose email address appears in my email. So those, and then, so those are the 2 things that Nancy would have spoken about. And as Ellen Mass mentioned earlier, part of the anti-NATO summit out of The Hague will be live streamed, and you'll be getting emails about how to find that live stream. Okay, live stream is a little different from a Zoom. You actually it's like you're coming in through YouTube. So, but it's free and easy to do. The Middle East Peace and Justice Action Committee, I get emails from them all the time, and I'm sure you have a lot of other organizations that are writing to you about the awful things that are happening in the Gaza Strip and in the West Bank. And so Odile just informed us about the Freedom Flotilla. There are actual resolutions coming through Congress about not sending any more money to Israel, things like that. I believe there's a Senate bill that Bernie Sanders has started. So please just keep an eye on your email and follow through on some of these requests for help sending money to these organizations. If you don't have time, send money. Is my I don't have time, so I send money. So that's my approach, because many of them have a donate button at the bottom,
I have another bad news.
Oh yes, tell me, Odile. Yes, tell us.
Is that France is going to deliver some equipment, military equipment, to Netanyahu. and they were supposed to have a peace conference this weekend, and it flopped. And then now France is sending more military aid to Israel.
To
It's
Israel.
disgusting.
Yeah, yeah, I would have, I'm surprised. I thought Macron had a better.
Yeah, I thought so too. That's why I'm really disappointed.
Okay.
Well, his wife slapped him, so.
His wife's left him? Oh, I didn't know.
Oh, she slapped him.
Oh, I heard about her slapping him, but I didn't realize then she'd left him.
No, she didn't. I didn't say that. I just said she slapped.
Slapped him. Oh, pardon. I thought you said left him.
Oh,
Slapped him.
no. I didn't know.
In,
That's
in,
Okay.
There is a lot of emails saying that Brigitte Macron is actually a guy
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
in France.
Okay, all this trivia. So there's let me see, course 8, the International Criminal Court is on Thursday at noon. And I think that's parliamentarians are doing that, I believe. Anyway, I have that on my calendar.
Can you put, yeah, I hadn't heard that. Could you put a link maybe in the chat?
Well, I could send it out
Send it
later.
out. Yes.
Okay.
So now we're up to A&A, and I see Ellen is back, so maybe she can tell us what's going on, because
Great.
Yeah, Norton is not going to be able to be at the awards ceremony.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to hear whether she's going to be able to give us a video to show. I made all sorts of plans with people with A&A to record the program today, but they said that their Wi-Fi wasn't working and we were unable to connect. So, but ananuclear.org, they are posting the report up on there on the website under the DC Days link, and I highly recommend that you read it because it's really detailed, briefly detailed, and very, very well done. And this is what they're handing out to the legislators. And it's something that you can share with your legislators as well.
And that's on the ANA.
ananuclear.org. I'll put that in.
it's in the agenda too. So today they were training the people who are actually in DC, who then tomorrow and Tuesday are going to be lobbying in Congress, in the corridors of Congress, to talk about all the things to do with why we don't like nuclear weapons and why we don't like nuclear power and what should be done. So Angie Whitehurst, who we sent money to, wasn't able to do the recording that you wanted her to do?
No, they tried. She tried, Carlos tried, but it just didn't work.
And were there other?
But she's there. She
Yeah.
is there. She was sick this morning, but she went anyway. And and we need to give her a lot of appreciation for what she's done.
But is there not a later days where there are other opportunities for her to video something?
Well, there's just the awards ceremony, and that's at a place where there might be Wi-Fi, so it may be possible to do that on Tuesday night. Yeah.
But are there not meetings on Wednesday and Thursday?
No, they're lobbying Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then the Thursday is the annual board meeting, but that's not to be recorded. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's a pity, but as you say, if you go, there are written reports.
Hopefully Angie will join us next time on the next call and tell us about her experience.
Okay, she was there. Well, that's good. So she's yeah. Thank you.
And she's going to be part of it for the next 3 days. I don't think she's not going to the board meeting because she's not on the board. So
right. Okay.
Okay. Divestment is the next topic.
Yes. So I just was looking at some of our sister organizations to see what they are telling us. So I just wanted to remind you that don't bank on the bomb. .com. I'm going to put this link in the chat. They have this
Are you
report.
sure that's .com?
Yep. Yep. It says .com here that I picked up. At great cost is their report that showed between January 2022 and August 2024, 260 financial institutions in the US had significant financing or investment relations with nuclear weapons producers. The good news is a previous year were 287 institutions that were providing money and equity to help the manufacturers of nuclear weapons. So it's down now to 260. Okay, so that's gone down. Their website reminds us that Northrop Grumman and General Dynamics are the biggest nuclear weapons profiteers. Remember, they make a lot of profit from doing this work for the US government. Northrop Grumman's outstanding contracts, $31 billion. General Dynamics, outstanding contracts, $24 billion. Okay, and then the others, Lockheed Martin, Boeing, etc., they all have multi-billion-dollar contracts with our government. This is where the money that you see is in the discretionary part of the budget, which sits at $805 billion for this fiscal year that we're in, $805 billion. So $31 billion is going to Northrop Grumman, $24 billion is going to General Dynamics. So what can we do about that? Well, then we go to our warheads to windmills colleagues. Well, we are part of the coalition, we help them. And this is where they explain about how to divest, how to get your bank or your school or your faith community to divest their equity holdings from weapons manufacturers. And they have a toolkit. And again, I'm going to put in the chat the link to their page full of useful information about how to do that. So those...
Cheryl, we had a guide also, a disarm guide that was doing that was telling you what to do and how to do it.
Is that on our website now?
Yeah, it's on it should be on our website, yes.
Right, yeah. So these other ones, the warheads to windmills is more detailed than ours. But anyway,
Okay.
this is, if you've got nothing better to do, if it's raining outside, you can't garden, you can't go for a walk, go and look at some of these websites and see, there are templates of letters that you could try to get your city council to look into, because all our cities have money in the stock market, right? They have budgets, but they're not spending it all the time. So they put their money into equities, into the stock market. And so you could see if you could persuade them not to do that.
Ours is supposed to be
So that was what I wanted to say about that.
yeah.
And I'm just going to go and put a couple of things in the chat for you.
Well, when we're talking about billions, Palantir's CEO got $6.7 billion in the past year.
As payment, as it.
One guy, 1 year, $6.7 billion. Anyway, okay.
Which company?
Palantir, they're like creating this thing about all the information of all of us.
They're yes, one of the things they do is human recognition and keeping track of you. They do it for the military. I believe they used to, if they still don't have an office here in Palo Alto, that people have stood outside and complained about them. I don't know if they're still here. Maybe we ran them out of town. That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but they're still around big time. Okay. Let's see. So I think we're down to the committee support projects.
Mhm.
treasurer report if you want. And then the next date for Disarm meeting. But anyway, Ellen, did you want to give a treasurer's report? It's probably similar to last time.
I can pull it up. The only thing that, hang on just a minute.
So I just put in the chat those two websites I talked about under the divestment ideas. They have, at great cost is a written report which you can download as a PDF.
So the balance is $2,105.77.
Say that again, 2,000.
105.77.
Okay, and the next,
But that
2,000
doesn't count, what we agreed to for the for the parties.
the $200 for the
Yeah,
petition parties. Tell me again, say it slowly, please. 2,000.
2105.77.
Fine, thank you.
Or
Okay.
2106, yeah.
so I don't think we want to change our next meeting date, which is the last Sunday of the month. That would be the 29th.
Mhm.
So,
But in August, you've requested, Diane.
yes, but that's way far away. But in
Yeah,
August,
but I would like, let people get it on their calendars by bringing it up, please.
yeah, August, I was hoping that we wouldn't do that. Well, it's Labor Day weekend. The last,
The 31st would be the last, but that's Labor Day weekend.
yeah.
So
It's
Diane
Labor Day
asked
the first.
a week early.
It's very early, Labor Day, very early. So I was hoping that we could move it up a week so that our intern could take the minutes because she's going to be gone by the 31st.
Okay.
And also I will be in Maui the following Sunday.
Oh, good. Another good reason. Okay.
Although, I always make an effort to come to be at these meetings, even if I am in Maui or.
But if you're in Maui, you should be enjoying Maui. And
Yes, right.
so okay, so the 24th of August, instead of the last Sunday, is when we'll have a meeting.
Who is the note taker today?
Shiley said that she would do the notes when you sent her the transcript and the AI.
And the recording.
And the recording, yeah.
Yes. So have you got her email address, Ellen Thomas?
I think so.
And if not, I'll send it to her. Yeah.
Right. So Shiley she couldn't be here, but she did agree she would do the minutes.
And she should be here from now on. So at least that's at least next time I understood from now on.
I want to let you know, I will not be here on the 10th. And I won't be here. Yeah, I will be here on the 27th of July, but I'm leaving for Japan on the 29th and I come back on the 14th of August.
All right, so I lost track. The 10th of what? Won't you be here?
August.
10th of August.
She'll be because of the Hiroshima and Nagasaki. She's going to be there.
Yeah, and then just the one time?
Yeah.
That's wonderful. You're going to do that with your daughter and granddaughter.
Yes, I'm very excited. And so are they.
It's very nice.
I'm going to give you a link here for something that was sent to me that is just wonderful. It's two 93-year-old musicians from Hiroshima who were to do a recital. They were 18 or she was 17 going on 18. And they were to do a concert. She plays the piano and he played the violin. And the day after, the bomb dropped and she disappeared and he thought she was dead. And they found each other 70 years later, and he had not played the violin for 70 years because he couldn't do it, because he couldn't bear it. And so when they found each other again,
they decided that they wanted to relearn the concert that they were supposed to play.
Hmm.
And they performed it at the was it one of those things on television where they're competing against other
A
people.
talent show.
Yeah, right. And it's just amazing. So I put the link in there. I think you'll really enjoy it. There's a little too much of looking at the audience, but the music is wonderful and the story is wonderful.
But what you just put in, that's something else. That's a Zoom link.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. That's
looking
this
for
this
YouTube.
link. Yeah, I have that someplace else. Let me get it and I'll get it for you. Thank you, Cheryl, for catching that.
Well, I have the chat open on the right-hand
There
side
it is.
of the screen.
It's a Facebook
So
thing.
it's a Facebook. So can we, I don't have a Facebook account.
You just click on it and you'll be able to see it.
See it, right, okay. Because some places you can't.
Well, if you can't, then I'm sorry.
Right, anyway, so that sounds very nice. So they did finally return to their musicianship.
Yeah, and they're beautiful. Oh, they're beautiful.
And it's
93 years old.
and it's a man and his sister, you said?
No, his girlfriend, I guess.
Oh, okay.
They
As
were in a class together and
classmates.
yeah.
Okay, well,
I don't know if they're married now, but they're certainly performing together.
well, people are in their 90s getting married.
Yep.
I read about it in various places. They were married before, but now they've met somebody in a retirement home. They get married. Isn't that lovely? I'm always looking for lovely stories.
Well, one of my, I guess you'd say leaders in the Boston branch is, she doesn't say, but we found out she's about 94 or 5. She's got a boyfriend for now almost 2 years. And he is pretty sharp. She's a big reader of newspapers, and he was a journalist. Good match.
So are we're on to any other business?
Exactly.
Eileen, I put my phone number in the chat.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody.
Okay.
I see it's 6:25 p.m. here, so we can say we finished in under 2 hours.
It's 9:25 here.
Right.
Of our teeth. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
Bye, y'all.
Have a good
Bye-bye.
take
Bye.
care.
Right. Do whatever you said you would do, and
whatever
Gary will give us a list of next steps. It listens and it hears. Oh, so and so said she'd do something or other. It'll be available.
If the phone number was supposed to go to everybody, it didn't, maybe you didn't enter it.
I don't think she entered it either, and she's gone now. I have her phone number. The most important one is, does she have mine?
Very good.
I do have one thing I want to say. The AI said that I was going to write something for Hiroshima.
Right.
And I would like some help with that.
Yes, so several people, if you read the minutes, several people said they would help you with that.
Yeah.
You have to read the minutes to see who it was, the minutes of the last meeting.
Yeah, okay.
So
maybe we can set up a Zoom call and talk about it.
Ellen, ask
yeah.
AI to help you. I'm serious, it'll help.
You have to
Yes,
give it
AI
the right
is very
question.
good. In writing, I sent you something they wrote on nuclear weapon. It was just amazing.
Yeah.
And
Well,
Joan,
I would like for us at the next meeting to record a little thing where we each individually say what we want to say. So think about it, what you would like to say to the people.
Okay, and we send it to
in
you.
Hiroshima.
No, not send it to me.
She'll record it.
We'll
I sent
record
mine
it
to
during
you
the Zoom
already.
meeting and I'll clip it out and share it with them.
Ellen, I sent you mine last time.
Wonderful. I'll look
Saved
for it.
Yeah,
I'll look
okay.
for it. Thank you.
Joan, what is this concert from 1945 delay? Oh, that's what it's called. The
Yeah,
it's not
Yeah,
the
That's
video
a description, not a.
description of as it is there. The concert from 9. They were going
It's
to put a concert
beautiful.
the
It's
next
just
day.
beautiful.
Mhm. I will make sure that our National Planning Committee know about this, Ellen. This is the kind of thing that other organizations could be pointing to.
Learning about,
Yeah, and we have, I told you last time that PSR would have an interactive calendar. They've not started it yet. I will let you all know when the PSR calendar where you can put your branch actions into to attract other people will be up.
Okay.
And Diane and Ellen, I am working on the talking points and the script for Tuesday morning, for our Tactical Tuesday. Ellen Schwartz is supposed to send me the list of registrants on Monday night.
I
And
just
everybody-
signed up.
Yes, good. Thank you, Adele. Anybody who's signed up will then, we need to send them these Word documents that give them some talking points and then the actual script. So that's one of the things I'm working on. To as well as the trifold revision and the timeline revision. So these are kind of my things I'm trying to do
yeah.
Thank you.
shortly. So hopefully see some of you on this Tactical Tuesday, even if you have a Democratic representative. Again, they're more likely to co-sponsor. Your final ask on the Tactical Tuesday will be, please co-sponsor HR 1888, and you will have given them.
And if you call the senators, ask them to introduce it into the
Introduce
Senate.
it. Right, it's not being
It's
introduced.
very important that it get introduced into the Senate. Until it does, it will never be taken seriously. You know, it
Okay.
needs to be both branches.
Both, but I will make that point in the script.
Thank you.
So Diane and Ellen, I will probably try to send you a script in the next, so many hours.
Okay.
Anyway, so
Okay,
All right.
see you. Bye-bye.
thank you
Good
for
night.
attending, everybody.
Save the chat.
Save the chat, yes. Especially, yes, these things that we want you to do.
Okay. Take
All
care.
right, all right.
Yay,
Bye-bye.
Joanne, yay, Cheryl, yay, everybody.
Yeah.